Battles Beyond the Horizon is a documentary film. It's about the future of war, which sounds kind of big and scary, and I guess it is. It's about drones, artificial intelligence, and what's happening with the military in the future, that humans are going to be less and less involved in the decisions, and how I think that's kind of scary and dangerous. I moved to Nevada about 10 years ago. I'm originally from Oklahoma, and when I moved there, I learned about that the US has a drone program where people pilot drones that they use to do assassinations from the desert outside of Las Vegas. And I thought that was such a weird and bizarre story, so I went out there to see, and you can see them flying in the air practicing. And I thought it was so strange that that's what war is now, some guys in the desert flying these things around, and then people across the world die. And I just thought it was really bizarre. So I think that's what inspired me, is I was trying to kind of wrap my head around, is this really where we want to head as humans? Documentaries, so there's not, it's not fiction, so there's no cast, but we're trying to figure out, we started with, we met a few people who are protesters or artists that protested, and they go out to this base out in the desert, and they kind of gather at this temple. There's a religious temple there that's the closest thing to the base that's out in the desert, and they sleep at the temple, and then they go to the base and they try to get arrested. That's the goal. They go in to try to push back. And so we started by following these protesters, which took a long time to get their trust, obviously. And they get arrested, and some of them serve a lot of jail time for it. We started with them, and then we were trying to find people who could kind of give us the better context of the ethics and the humanity and what did the military think of this. So then we talked to some military ethicists who work with the military on ethical questions. We interviewed a couple of these people, one with Naval Research Institute and one that's at Case Western University. And then we interviewed some other folks on the other side who are just kind of really concerned about it, but also experts on war and peace and such, and the guy in Germany. And we kind of tried to put that together to both show the activists' actions and also question the bigger picture stuff about ethics, future, and war, and how that could come together in a way that maybe us humans could feel okay about. I like coming to Bare Bones. I think I don't remember, 4 films in here maybe or so. I don't even remember. My first time was maybe around 2013 or so. So I've been coming here off and on for the past decade, I guess. I like coming back from Oklahoma originally, and so usually it's kind of my chance to come back. And even though I'm from central Oklahoma, my grandmother lived out this way, so I have a lot of family ties in eastern Oklahoma. So it kind of feels like home. I probably come out this way more than I do back to central Oklahoma. But for me, this is a chance to come back. I did a film based in Oklahoma where I spent many years making, and it was in eastern Oklahoma. So every time I come back, I get to see people that were part of that film too. So I guess it's like coming home. Wow. I think what the film's kind of about is that anybody can do the right thing. In this case, we're looking at protesters, and we're talking to military, and we're talking to experts. It doesn't matter where you are. Anybody can make the choice to do the right thing. When there's a choice about good and bad, right and wrong, doesn't matter what situation is you're in, you can make the choice to do the right thing. I should give a shout out to my husband. We're kind of a film crew, and so I usually take on the stuff I like better, doing interviews and the beauty shots. And in this film, when we had to sleep in the desert and do protest shots, when you had to do protest footage and sleep in the desert or go to riots or any of that kind of stuff that we had to do in this film, that was him. So I have to give a shout out, because I don't want to go, I don't want to do the kind of stuff he does when we film. He does the harder stuff. He does the stuff that might get you arrested. I kind of just do the interviews and the pretty stuff. I'm Kari Barber, and I'm the director of Battles Beyond the Horizon.